Welcome to the BV Buzz.
Welcome back to the BV Buzz. I'm Becca Carver, Director of Wellness, and this is episode 8. I am joined by Director of Volunteer Services, Joanna Rudisil. Joanna, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Becca.
This episode is all about volunteers. So Joanna, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here for Brother and Village?
Absolutely. Well, for the past 3 years, I have been the Director of Volunteer Services, and I have enjoyed getting to know many of our volunteers. We have 273 volunteers that are active here at Brethren Village, and we are here to support Patty Lingenfelder and myself to support the great work that our volunteers do each and every day.
That is a lot of volunteers, Joanna. How many hours do they accumulate in 1 year?
Well, last fiscal year, they accumulated over 35,000 volunteer hours.
That is a lot.
That is a lot of hours. And so just for fun, I multiplied that by $12 an hour, which would basically be a minimum wage here at Brethren Village. And it was a little over $400,000 that would total.
That is fantastic. So thank you to all of our volunteers. So what kind of jobs do our volunteers do here on campus for us?
Well, looking around here, I can speak to pretty much everywhere our volunteers are supporting the Village Center. So for example, the bistro, Monday through Sunday, they deliver meals to folks here on campus, residents on campus that have been identified through Community Life. They need a meal, and so they do a free delivery, not a free meal, but a free delivery from the bistro, and that's for lunch. So I have a whole group of volunteers that do that. In the library, we have many volunteers that take care of the library, receiving books, categorizing them, and so on and so forth. Our Village Center store, we have our volunteer manager, as well as a whole team of people that run the store, from shopping, cashiering, and supporting the manager and her great work there. We have a volunteer manager of the gift shop, and again, we have buyers. We have people who process the items in there. We have our sewers and knitters downstairs in the craft room that supply one of the areas in the gift shop. We also have the workshop, who supplies a lot of beautiful items that they sell in the gift shop as well. So that is just up here, and then we have transporters, volunteer transporters, that support Village Center. This is at the gift shop. We have three beauty shops, I wanted to say, and they all have a different group of wheelchair transporters or volunteer escorts that just come with, like in personal care. Many of them enjoy walking over to the beauty shops, so they escort them over.
Perfect.
Take appointments, and so on and so forth. So that's just a few.
There's a lot of jobs here, and go ahead.
Actually have over 100. So
wow.
I want to let you know.
That's a lot of jobs.
That's a lot of jobs.
Do we have any jobs that are like fully sitting jobs that someone could do in like a wheelchair? I know we have some maybe in the chapel.
I know, we do. We have some, not as many as I would like, but they do visitation. They come over to the courtyard and do visitation.
Oh, that's a good one.
One thing that's different this past year is, and a good news, is a lot of the COVID support that volunteers had. For example, at the Welcome Center, we had Welcome Center creators and so on and so forth. We don't have those anymore. But we have volunteers that are doing things from the residents, like writing notes to over at the skill care area, like I said, visiting, that type of thing.
Great. Well, if you are interested in volunteering, how can a resident begin that process?
The first step is completing a volunteer application. And you can do that online at www.bv.org, or you can just call our office and Patty or I will be happy to actually mail out a volunteer application. That's the first step, and from there is an education packet that goes out. I meet with all the volunteers. I also do a lot of recruiting for volunteers. I work very closely with team members, and there are special things that'll come up where they need volunteers for certain things. So I do a lot of recruiting as well.
Great. Well, we have 3 residents with us today around campus to talk a little bit more about volunteering.
Hi, I'm Ashley Brown. I work here in the courtyards at Brethren Village in physical therapy. I've been here for almost 6 years. And what I find so amazing about our volunteers here, we have people who've been in these positions in therapy volunteering longer than I have. And we don't get to know them just professionally, but we get to know them personally. We learn about their families and their careers, their hobbies, and they become our friends. If there's one thing I've learned working in healthcare is to expect the unexpected, but our volunteers are a constant for us. If I could tell you how many times we've said, oh my gosh, it's a crazy day, but it's Monday and Brian's coming, or thank goodness Kathy's coming at 9 o'clock. Oh, it's been a wild day, but 9 o'clock and Ralph's gonna be here. Ed's coming today, or it's Friday and Jim will be here. They are dependable and they don't have to do what they do, but we are so grateful that they show up. They say to choose your work family well because you spend so much time with them, and we are so grateful for all of our volunteers and that they choose to be a part of our work family.
Hi, I'm Ralph Moyer, and I volunteer here at Courtyards Physical Therapy on Wednesdays to transport wheelchairs. I have lived at Brethren Village in my cottage for 11 and a half years, and I just love it here. Actually, I started coming here to Brethren Village as a pastor visiting our members since 1980 in Littis Church of the Brethren. So I've seen Brethren Village for 42 years, a lot of changes. And when I retired, I came here, and I just love Brethren Village. And so I want to give back because of my appreciation for staying here. I just love volunteering here at the Courtyards and Physical Therapy. I get to know the therapists and the residents when I push them every week back and forth to therapy. You get to know them. They get to know me by name. And I always like to engage them in conversation as we come and go from the therapist. I love the therapists too because they're so professional and yet they're so caring. Each resident is different, and they're so careful with each one, giving them individual care. The one thing about getting to know the residents is that sometimes they die, and you miss that. I know the therapists and me as a transporter really miss the patients after they're gone, but we know that we've done a good job and helped them when they were still living to be the best persons they can be. I recommend volunteering. It does me good. I sometimes walk, my phone keeps the steps, and sometimes I walk 6,000 steps, which is about 2.5 miles on a busy day, but other days it's not as bad. But it's good exercise, keeps me alive and young.
Hello, I'm Laura Todd, the Facilities Coordinator at Brethren Village. We're here to talk about our volunteers who help us in the mailroom. While we have a lot of volunteers around campus, today we're going to let Dan the Man tell you what he enjoys about volunteering.
Good morning. My name is Dan. I'm a volunteer here in the mailroom on Tuesdays and sometimes other days. I have a job of taking 4 or 5 containers of mail, putting them into 30 different mailboxes behind me here. Sometimes I find problems, and then I go to a wonderful lady by the name of Alice. April, I called her the wrong name. I enjoy being a volunteer here. I got a couple reasons why I enjoy it. Number one, in life, as we go through life, we volunteer at our church. We volunteer to help the neighbors out. We volunteer at ball games, scout troops. I'm not quitting. I have time to still do that. That's why I'm a volunteer. The second reason I'm a volunteer, my family thought, well, Dan's going to retirement at Brethren Village. He's going to sit around, eat, and gripe and moan and complain. I don't want to be that person. I got a lot of life to live yet. I want to get out with people. And I found a great crew of people here. The volunteers here are really special. I join up with them, and the people that work here volunteer at Brethren Village are super people to work with. I work with Laura, I work with April here, and you couldn't find any better people in my life. So, if you want to be a volunteer, please see Joanna Rudisil, and she can help you out. And by the way, if you want to volunteer for Tuesdays, that slot is taken already. Don't move me out of my slot. Be a volunteer. Get out, meet people, and do something for the Brethren Village community. Thanks for your time.
Hello, I'm Rennie McGill, Vice President of Development here at Brethren Village. It gives me great pleasure, of course, to thank our terrific volunteers. There's a lot of things that happen both behind the scenes, out in front, but it's incredible what a group of people pulls together and does, and what a big impact it makes here at Brethren Village. You know, I'm reflecting on 3 years ago when I had a personal connection with volunteers. When COVID hit, I was asked to help with the Fieldcrest store. What's not incredible is what I did every day. It was what I learned about the volunteers in this store, that they took inventory, that they gathered every day to price everything that came into this store, that they were very dedicated and kept saying, we really need to do this. We need to make sure that these things are available. It's an incredible operation, and it's just one example of what happens here at Brethren Village. So volunteers, you are amazing. You are what make Brethren Village amazing, and I thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Fred Lichendorf, the manager of the Fieldcrest grocery store. I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I'm very pleased to be here. The purpose of the store is rather straightforward. We are here to serve the residents of Brethren Village and to provide them with healthy and high quality food at a real reasonable price. The reason that we can do that is because we have some great volunteers. We must have about a dozen. They do inventory, they do cashiering, shopping, and we even have a brand new treasurer, Linda Bohannon, just joined us about 2 weeks ago, and we're very glad to have her. This is a very small store, but we carry a large variety of items. And we're very lucky to be surrounded by area farms. Whenever a new crop comes in, we're always first to get over there and buy all the produce that we can so everybody can have the freshest food possible. My job description basically is I come in here every morning before the store opens, and I'm here every day after the store closes. And I stock the shelves and order milk and ice cream and things of that nature. But because of all the help that I get from the volunteers, my job is really very small compared to what they do. The reason I volunteer is, number one, because it's needed. People need help, and we're here to serve them. But the most important reason is, I think for all concerned, it makes me feel very proud to be able to help these people, because they're all friends and they're all family. As you probably know, this is a nonprofit store like all the other stores in Brethren Village, and whatever we make here goes directly to the Benevolent Fund. And last year, if I'm not mistaken, we've donated approximately $12,000, and we're very proud of that. So when you're in the area and you have a couple extra dollars in your pocket, please come on in and buy some things from us. We'd love to see you, and we'd love to keep you healthy and happy. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for episode 8 of the BV Buzz.
And thank you, Becca, for including me today in BV Buzz. And I want to mention that Volunteer Service Month is in April, so please thank a volunteer.
And on behalf of Brethren Village, I would like to thank all of our volunteers for all of their hard work. We will see you next episode.